My name is Oshifesolu Larry. I'm a mechanic. Welcome to Exxon F1, also known as from Lawan, Cologne, Africa.
So, welcome to the Zandvoort CM Dutch Grand Prix in Netherlands, Holland. Yeah. Today we'll be talking about the teams with the upgrades, drivers falling sick, the new contracts, FP1, FP2, and what the weekend will bring. So, let's start with this. Mercedes have decided to bring the complete package of that upgrade they brought in their last race. The last race was in Belgium, so they brought the complete bits of that package to the track to show other teams like, hey, you guys are in trouble. You want to doubt us. You want to bam bam. You know, that kind of a thing. So they brought the remaining bits, and we can remember that Belgium Grand Prix, it was mad with rain that they could not really test the upgrades. And this weekend, there's rain in the air, so we don't know how the rain will be, how it will pan out. Will they be able to walk around with the complete upgrade and get the best out of it? Question we are yet to know. So let's see how that pans out. Now, also, Alpine, they are team principal-less and sporting director-less. But they brought some beats, so let's see how it works out for them. We learned McLaren too brought some beats. Let's see how it works for them. But the teams we are expecting to bring as enough of the season, they are coming back. They should be coming back with full force, with all their we are still working on 2023 car, we are working on 2024 car, we are working on 2060 something car. Ferrari, they didn't bring upgrade. Oh, Ferrari. And I've noticed something this season with Ferrari. Races with sprint race, Ferrari come up and shine. At least if they are not in pole, they will be close to pole. They will do something magical. But any race without sprint race that they can adjust, switch, do anything on their car, that race, just know that Ferrari will fumble. So I think Ferrari should do something. The remaining part of this season, they should not be tweaking their car too much. They should not be doing touch too much, because those touches are taking them back. They should do less touch on their car so that they can just focus on the weekend. Because go and watch all the sprint races. Ferrari are done well during the sprint race, and they've done well during the main race. That's the funny thing. Aston Martin too, we thought they are bringing upgrades, but they too are not bringing upgrades. I remember like 8 races ago, Fernando Alonso said, oh, this time he wants to be in top 3 every race. Wait, after 6 top 3s, where is the remaining top 3? He has used it to ask Katy Perry out. But great news for us, they've extended the contract of their 2 drivers, Nico Hülkenberg and Kevin Magnussen, for another 1 year. I think Hülkenberg had been a very good driver this year, coming back after like 3 years or thereabouts from a Formula 1 car and doing exceptionally well in qualifying. And he has 1 point this season, but his main races have not been as good as Kevin Magnussen's main race. Kevin Magnussen has done better in races than in qualifying, while he has done better in qualifying than in main races, which is good for them. They can complement each other. So one should do qualifying, the other one should do race. They've renewed the contracts of these drivers, so they will be driving for them next year, and we hope they do better. Now, like I said in about 3 or 4 videos ago, that if you've not seen the video, go and see. That's drivers power ranking Formula 1. Lance Stroll, whenever he's sick, I think he's a better driver. Now he's coming to the paddock with swollen face. He's having infection. Maybe he will drive well this time. Let's see if he will drive well, because he loves being sick while driving. We hope seeing him better during FP1 and FP2, so let's watch out for him. And Charles Leclerc drove down to Holland. He drove down because he's having ear infections. He didn't want to enter the airplane, and the sound of the turbines will keep humming into his head, but he has forgotten that he will enter the car. And the loud roaring noise will be woven into his ears. But he drove straight to the track, to Zandvoort. He got there on Wednesday. We hope he gets better. In Sergio Perez's pre-race conference, he said something which was captivating. And that is what I've said. And for those that have opened their mouth and be saying nonsense, and those that don't like what I say, well, I'm not begging you to like. I'm saying the truth. And the truth is bitter. Truth is poisonous. He said his car has not been the same since the last race he won. Now, that means a lot. If that car has not been the same, his own car has not been the same, then there's a problem, there's a sabotage. I've always said that, and it sounds as if I'm just saying nonsense. Somebody has sabotaged this car. Something is wrong with this car, because if that car has not been the same, that is why he has not been qualifying well. He has not been doing well. And Red Bull should know. They should know. He is a driver. He's saying it. It's not that he's a dumb bad that he's not saying it to the team. He's saying it to the team, but they are not working on what he's saying. That old man, that man that if if Mark will be careful, that one will just come and start saying beautiful rubbish, beautiful nonsense, as if he gets into the car, he will drive to Sokoto. I don't know what is wrong with him while he only stays in his Sokoto. Mark will be careful. The driver is saying it. You guys are not looking at what is happening. This car has not been the same. Somebody has tweaked the RB19 of Checo Perez to favor Max Verstappen, because even if Verstappen is better than him, yeah, we agree, it should not be that far. No be dummy, they watch this race now. We are not babies. That is why everybody on paddock, even McLaren's CEO, is saying that it's only Max Verstappen that is driving F1 car. Toto Wolff said that. A lot of team principals are saying that other cars are the same. They are F2 cars. So it is not rocket science or something nobody is saying. You are all seeing it. I feel for Sergio Perez. We hope they've switched the car back, because Lewis Hamilton said already in his press conference that he is going for Sergio Perez's P2 position in the Constructors' Championship. And you know, when Lewis Hamilton does better in the second half of the season than the first half, he has always done better. So I believe he's going to do better this season. And if he's gone in for that guy's second position, meanwhile, Sergio Perez is about 50 points or thereabout ahead of him. Red Bull should better do something. But you know they get sense. Buy sense, Red Bull. Hope you guys buy it. So, the FP1, yeah, finally. I know the funny thing, no rain. Maybe the weatherman got it wrong this time. We don't know. But it was so funny. It was dry all through. We are looking at the FP2. There's no guarantee there will be rain. So, what happened in FP1? There was only one red flag caused by Nico Hülkenberg. About 15 minutes to the end of the FP1, he had a red flag in turn 13. So, wonderfully, a lot of things are going to go down. Aside from the red flag, smooth sailing FP1 with Schwartzman sitting in for Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. But the only driver that didn't get anything, any lapping at all, yeah, he did some tests but didn't get any lapping, was Lance Stroll. He came in with infection. Maybe his engine is infected, because there are lots of checks on his engine, and at the end of the day, that car did not come out at all from the pit. But we saw a very, very close FP1 for the top 3. Let me say for the top 5. It was about 4 tenths apart, but I still believe some drivers did not really get their banker lapping, and that Mercedes looks more balanced. You know, the construction of the car, of the basis of the car, that's the foundation, the way the car is being laid out is for a podless design. They had to restructure to give it that pod on the side, that upgrade they've brought to give the car the right aero balance that they will be able to work with in their CFD and in their testing facility. So for them to get to this point that the car is more balanced, as in on those high speed corners, low speed corners, Lewis Hamilton got the balance of the car right, better than George Russell, and the car looks so firm, unlike when they were in US, in Miami, when they were in Canada, when they were in Australia, when they were in Austria. That car looks off balance at some point, but the car looks balanced. Maybe it's because of the upgrades they brought again, because some teams brought upgrade. Red Bull brought upgrade. Finally, we got the loop in on those that brought upgrade. Red Bull brought upgrades. Mercedes brought upgrades. Aston Martin brought upgrades. Alpine brought upgrades. Haas brought upgrades. But McLaren just brought specific upgrades for the track. So what am I saying? The Mercedes looks more balanced, and we were seeing a very aggressive Lewis Hamilton, very, very aggressive to the track, attacking the track in his second stint on the red soft tires. But it was hampered by the accident of Nico Hülkenberg when Nico Hülkenberg ramped his car into the barriers in turn 13. So he was unable to give that banker lap, but he looks pretty fast and very decently fast. In the first sector, it was 3 tenths on Max Verstappen, as he was able to get good laps in. The second part was looking great before the accident happened. I still think the Mercedes upgrade has some juice in it. They would not beat the Red Bull, I can tell you, because the beam wing the Red Bull brought is to give them more downforce and to take away more dirty air in a better way for the Red Bull. So they are still going to be like 2-3 tenths faster. Remember, they brought some upgrades in Hungary that they said that will make them 2 tenths faster, but they were about 4-5 tenths faster. So with these one too, they will be a little bit faster. So looking at the Mercedes, they are very fast. That car is more balanced. In the next few practices, they should be able to get the right setup, and I think they are getting closer to the Red Bull. The Aston Martin, they might not win a race this season, and they might win a race towards the end of the season. It might have been when Red Bull had won the championship and wrapped it up. But that car looks solid. The Aston Martin also looks solid. They brought some upgrades. You know, they've been down and out for quite some time. Since their last best performance, they've just been everywhere. They brought 4 major upgrades, 3 to the floor, and one to the side. These upgrades are to bring them closer to the Red Bull. The Mercedes also added a new beam wing to take away that dirty air and to improve the flow atop the side pods. They brought some upgrades to the floor, so the side pods and the beam wing and also the front wing. But we know that they will be changing the rear wings based or depending on the circuit. They'll be changing the rear wings to give them the best rear wings they need. The raft upgrade the Aston Martin brought to the floor is to give them more downforce and to make them faster. The Aston Martin needs to generate more vortexes from the underneath and also be able to get some excess air out of the fences of the floor. I think that will help them a lot. The AlphaTauri upgrade, all through the FP1, the AlphaTauri had to put aero rakes on to check the reliability and how good their upgrade would be, because they brought new rear wing end plate to improve the flow. They brought some beam wings also to make it better. The AS brought an upgrade to their brake cooling because they've been having cooling issue which is affecting their tire wear, so they brought brake cooling ducts to make it better for them in cooling so that they maximize their tire performance. Also McLaren, they brought new rear wings and beam wings. Everybody's just bringing beam wings. Through the session, the Mercedes performed, the Red Bull performed, the Aston Martin performed, and also that fast Williams is showing its color today. It showed that straight line speed has been improved on, and they're having some low speed corner speed and high speed corner speed to compensate for that. It will be a very, very tight qualifying. I'm still looking at Max Verstappen topping the timesheet in the qualifying, with the Mercedes getting very, very close. The Ferrari didn't do bad, but they are not close to their top competitors, which are the Mercedes, Aston Martin and the McLaren. They didn't look anywhere near them, but it shows that the FP2 be looking at them to see what they are bringing up to make the game better. So to ramp it up, Max Verstappen topped the timesheet in the FP1, Fernando Alonso coming second, Lewis Hamilton third. It was looking close for the top 10, about 8 to 9 tenths adrift, but it was looking close. By FP3 tomorrow, we would know where those drivers sit and where they are aligned. And I can tell you, the predictions are still Max Verstappen pole, the message of Lewis Hamilton looking like second in the race. FP2, it was dramatic, very, very dramatic. You know, we can see the two Aussies, that is Daniel Ricciardo and Oscar Piastri, going out early in the FP2. There are lots of drivers with so many mistakes because the tailwind was so much, especially in turn 11 and turn 13. The Aussies, that is Oscar Piastri, ran into the wall, and Daniel Ricciardo, carrying so much speed into that corner, saw Oscar Piastri late, and he himself had no place to bail out into except to run into the wall beside his Aussie mate in McLaren in the former car he was driving. The two of them were out early in FP2 because the very first red flag about 15 minutes into the FP2. But what happened in FP2? The McLaren topped the timesheet. Now, the thing people need to understand is this. The forecast said there will be rain today, but it was dampy. There was not much rain. There were some drizzles early in the morning, but it was a little bit dampy. But tomorrow, weather forecast said there will be much rain in the morning, but the FP3 might be hampered with little rain, but the qualifying will be dry. So what do you think the teams will do? They will do long run. That is why, especially in the FP2, the drivers did a lot of long runs, and we saw a lot of pace from some cars. Now, the MCL60, that's the McLaren, taking the first position in FP2, does not really show their speed, though they've been up and running since their upgrade, and with what they brought, they've been quite so good and very, very stable. But the challenge is this: I don't see them beating Mercedes in this race, though they've brought some beats like I said earlier, but I don't see them beating Mercedes or Red Bull. I don't see Mercedes beating Red Bull, but the battle between Mercedes and Red Bull in this race will be so close. Any team that allows Williams to be in their front, they are in trouble. Any team, listen again, any team that go and allow that Williams to be ahead of him, that team is in trouble, because Alex Albon, that thought the Williams will struggle, he himself and his teammate Logan Sargent, they found some decent speed in that car. It will be a very, very tough race, a very, very tough qualifying, and a very, very tough practice. Because if you can see, especially in the times in FP1 and FP2 was so close. The FP2 from Lando Norris, that was first in FP2, to 10th Alonso, there were like 5 tenths between them, which is telling us it's going to be close. And during the qualifying, they will go less in either into the higher 1 minute 9 seconds or lower 1 minute 10 seconds, which is going to show us where the true pace is. Now we will know if the McLaren will really show up to the party or the Mercedes will show up to the party. But certainly Max Verstappen is already in the party, we know that. But who will be there with him? Who would take him far? Who would take him into the deep waters? We don't know yet. But I can tell you, from what I'm seeing, the race pace of the Mercedes is so decent. They have a better race pace in this Grand Prix. We are just seeing them come back, but they have a better race pace than the Red Bull from what we are seeing. But are they fast enough? You might have a better race pace, but are you fast enough to close? Then, what are the strategies that they are going to use? If Mercedes comes up with a better strategy, I see them winning this race. But this race is for Max Verstappen because he is in full control. The Mercedes will be close, but I can tell you, except their race pace and their speed align because of their upgrade. So we can't know the strength of their upgrade until when they are into the race and in the qualifying. So we'll know where they will be, certainly. But this FP2 really showed us where most of the teams are and what they are doing. And at the end of the day, we can see Lando Norris topping the chart with 1 minute 11 seconds 3:10, and Max Verstappen with about 2,000 tenths behind him. Alex Albon 2 tenths behind him. Lewis Hamilton 3 tenths. Tsunoda 3 tenths. That is why I am telling you this is not the true pace. Though the Alpha Tauri brought some upgrade, but I can tell you this is not the true pace of where these cars are. Most of them are running different simulations. The high fuel runs, the low fuel runs, the high fuel runs and the low fuel runs. That is what most of them are running. And also, aside from running the high fuel and the low fuel runs, the track towards the end of the stint should wrap up, and when the track wraps up, it means they will be able to generate better traction because a lot of rubbers have been laid down, so they will have better speed. So I don't see that as being relative to what we really are, but I told you it will be very close, very very close, and we can see how close that is. So tomorrow in FP3 we'll see what will really happen. Especially I pray, and like we all want to pray, that there will be no rain during the FP3 and during the race and during the qualifying, so we can see how our lovely teams are growing and how better these teams will be. So the prediction still remains Max Verstappen winning the race, Max Verstappen pole position. But tomorrow FP3 might change the whole situation. Let's watch out for that. But like I said, the Mercedes cannot be counted out. The McLaren cannot be counted out. Also, the Aston Martin. But the Aston Martin, even with the upgrade, they still look far behind. And like we all know, Mercedes will work overnight to see how they can bring more performance to the car. More performance does not mean more upgrade here. They will look at the upgrades they've brought to the track and how they can use those upgrades to improve their car from the data they've gotten overnight. And we know whenever Mercedes does that, they get better on Saturday, which brings them better performance on Sunday. So let's watch out for that. Will the Mercedes give the Red Bull a run for their money, or will the McLaren be so close? Watch out for that. Still remain Exxon F1. Thank you. We love you. Subscribe, like, share, comment. I love you. Bye. Chi.
Gibor gives you power. Gibor gives you control. Gibor gives you benefits. Are you an individual or business that uses fuel or gas? Use Gibor to find the best prices across all retail outlets in your city. For users and businesses that buy volumes, Gibor gives you access to credit. Gibor also gives you the ability to track your costs and monitor expenses per car or fleet. Need to improve your costs, enjoy incentives, or track expense? Gibor is the answer. Enjoy 5% discount on your first 5 purchases when you get your next fuel voucher from Gibor. Log on to www.gibor.co to enjoy this. Retail outlets wanted nationwide.
We have a new friend in the house. We are in Nigeria here, West Africa. He provides internet for us. They provide the best internet around the mainland, and I know they are still moving to the highland and they are moving all around Nigeria. But for you to get internet on the mainland, contact Fibrad Telecom Limited. They get you sorted out ASAP. The best cable internet on the mainland, fiber, I think they get sorted out. We talk much about them in the course of some of our videos, but contact them, they get sorted out. If you're a builder, if you're an art collector, if you have a showroom, Rated is the best place to get the artworks you need for your new buildings, for your art collections, for your showroom, for your exhibition. Rated Art have one of the best murals, mosaic works, and different art patterns in Nigeria presently. And it's somebody that you can communicate with, talks to you, you tell him what you want, and he will bring the reality out for you. Contact Rated Art. His number is right up here, and you can also go on social media links that are pasted right up here to check out some of his works. Thank you. Teams Gadget. Teams Gadget is for those of you that cannot easily go to the market to get your phones, your laptops, your accessories. Just place a call through. His phone number is there. It gets you the best. It's your shop plug to get you the best phones, accessories, laptops, games, and other accessories for your computer gaming experience. Contact Teams Gadget and you get them for you.